I tested 30 of these portable spot cleaners side by side, measuring exactly how much of a dried stain each one actually lifted. Here's what surprised me. Almost every single one landed within a few points of each other. So if they're all basically doing the same job, why does one keep coming out on top? And what is it actually doing differently? Welcome back to Sweep Gear, where we dig into the research so you know what you're buying before you spend $1 on it. Today we're looking at the Shark StainStriker HairPro. I'll walk you through what it does well, where it genuinely falls short, and who should skip it entirely. Let's start with why anyone needs one of these in the first place. You know the moment. You walk into the living room and there's a fresh spot on the carpet, or your dog decided the rug looked more comfortable than his bed. Paper towels and a bottle of spray only go so far. Hiring someone to steam clean your whole living room over one stain feels like overkill. That's the gap this machine is built to fill, and that gap matters more than people realize. A stain left untreated for even a day can set into the fibers permanently. So the real question isn't just, does this machine work? It's, does it work fast enough before that window closes? Back to that stain test I mentioned. Out of 30 machines evaluated using the exact same method, this one posted the highest stain reduction score in the group, not by a landslide, but enough to edge out some well-known names. Here's the part that matters more than the ranking though. Nearly every machine tested came surprisingly close to each other in raw performance, which tells you something most marketing won't admit. The machine isn't the biggest variable here. How you use it is. I'll come back to that because it changes how you should think about this entire category. So what actually happens when you use it? You fill one tank with water and the included cleaning solution, and there's a second tank just for a concentrated oxy booster. Pull the trigger, and both solutions combine right as they hit the stain, instead of sitting pre-mixed in a bottle losing strength over time. Scrub for about a minute, and the machine sucks the dirty water back out into a separate tank. No pre-mixing, no guesswork. If you've got pets, this is where it gets more interesting. The HairPro system uses fins designed to grip and pull embedded hair out of carpet and upholstery fibers with a separate filter that catches the hair before it can clog anything. Real owners consistently report it handling pet hair well, even in spots a regular vacuum struggles to reach. And there's a detail here that most comparisons overlook. Pet messes run through a dedicated pet tool that keeps that liquid isolated from the rest of the system instead of pushing it back through the same hose you'd use on a coffee spill. Small design choice, big difference in how gross the machine gets over time. Speaking of gross, odor removal turns out to be one of the strongest points here. Even when a stain doesn't come out completely, owners repeatedly mention that the smell is gone. For anyone dealing with pet accidents, that alone often matters more than the visible stain, because a lingering smell is what actually gives you away in front of guests. If you're weighing whether this is worth adding to your cart, the current price and any active deals are linked right below this video, so feel free to check that while we keep going. Now, maintenance. This is where a lot of these machines quietly become a chore. Every spot cleaner needs its dirty water tank rinsed after use, or you're basically brewing bacteria in there. This one has a built-in docking port where you insert the hose and run clean water straight through it, flushing everything out in seconds. Compared to machines that require a separate cap you can easily lose or offer no hose cleaning method at all, that's a smart piece of engineering that doesn't get talked about enough. It's also light, 8.5 pounds, easy to carry from the living room to the car without needing a break halfway there. And there's a swivel built into the handle so the hose doesn't twist and fight you while you're working a stubborn spot on a stair. Now for the honest part, because no product is perfect, and if a review tells you otherwise, stop trusting that review. The tank holds about 41 ounces, smaller than average for this category. That's fine for a couch cushion or a car seat. Less fine if you're working through multiple rooms in one sitting because you'll be refilling more often than with some competitors. The cord is shorter than average too, under 12 feet, paired with a 4-foot hose. That combination means you might be unplugging and repositioning the base more than you'd like on a bigger job. There's no dedicated storage for the 4 included tools either, which sounds minor until you've lost the small stain tool behind a couch for the 3rd time. And here's something worth being upfront about. This isn't a miracle worker on old stains. If you're dealing with something that set in months ago, especially wine or oil-based stains, expect improvement, not a total disappearing act. That lines up with what owners report, and honestly, it's true of every machine in this category, not just this one. One more thing worth flagging directly because it shows up across multiple independent buyers rather than just one unlucky review. Some owners have reported the tank leaking or dripping either right out of the box or after refilling. It's not universal, but it's common enough to know about before you buy. The manufacturer acknowledges it and provides troubleshooting steps, and the machine carries a 3-year limited warranty, which at least gives you a real path if that happens to you. So how does it stack up against the machine most people cross-shop it with, the Bissell Little Green Pro? The Bissell holds well over double the water capacity and comes with a cord more than double the length. A real advantage if you're cleaning several rooms of carpet in one home. But it has no onboard hose cleaning system, so you're rinsing everything by hand every time. The Shark model traded some tank size for a better day-to-day maintenance experience and a slightly stronger stain score. Neither one wins outright. It comes down to whether you're treating occasional spots or regularly tackling bigger areas. Remember that stain test from the start, where all these machines performed closer together than you'd expect? Here's the payoff. The single biggest factor in how well any of these machines perform isn't the brand on the box. It's whether you pre-treat the stain first and whether you act on it while it's still wet instead of letting it dry. Catching a spill immediately and treating it before it sets can be the difference between a stain disappearing completely and one that lingers no matter what machine you own. So who should actually buy this one? If you've got pets or young kids and you're dealing with regular spot messes on carpet, upholstery, stairs, or car interiors, this is a solid pick, especially if an easy hose cleaning routine appeals to you. If you're mainly treating 1 or 2 rooms at a time and don't mind the occasional refill, the smaller tank won't bother you much. If you've got a larger home with multiple carpeted rooms and you'd rather not stop and refill constantly, the Bissell Little Green Pro deserves a serious look instead. And if the leak reports make you nervous, register your unit right away so the warranty is active from day one, just in case. Is it worth the money? At its typical selling price, sitting comfortably in the middle of this category, I'd call it a fair deal for what it does well, as long as you go in with realistic expectations about tank size and old, deeply set stains. That's the full picture on the Shark StainStriker HairPro. Strong stain performance, a genuinely useful self-cleaning design, real limitations on tank size and cord length, and a leak pattern worth knowing about going in. If this kind of honest, no-fluff breakdown is useful to you, consider subscribing. It helps more than you'd think. And I'd love to know, are you dealing with pet stains, kid spills, or something else entirely? Drop it in the comments. It genuinely helps me figure out what to test next.